opposite arm over. Other way. There you go. All right, switch it up. Good. So a lot of people teach a lot of different ways. My style is a very slow style. Like I want pressure switches type guy, right? So I'm never going to sacrifice any position, ankle, any position for submission. That's just not the way I do things, right? And you know, I compete at a pretty high level, and I do well, and you're going to be competitive with almost everybody if you keep that mentality, right? So that's kind of what we're going to go over today. I'm a big pressure passer. My notion is the Marcelo Garcia way. You're not attacking, you're defending. If you're defending, you're losing. Right? So my goal for everything is always be on top, no matter what. I know a lot of people have great guards in here, little different instructors have great guards. It's just not my style. Right? Anytime I'm on bottom to get up. So I use my wrestling to get the match to where I want to get on top and then kick the shit out. Right? And every submission I ever get is because they're sick of me cooking the hell out of them, where they want out. And I think that's the best. When you can break somebody that way, lay down, that's the best way to do it. All right, so we're going to go chin to chest 10 times, chin to shoulder 10 times, ear to shoulder 10 times. Make sense? All right, chin to chest. Chin to shoulder. Chin to shoulder. And ear to shoulder. Alright, when you're done, flip it over on all fours. Active toes, meaning your toes are on the mat. Palms on the ground, I want my shoulders over my palms. We're going forward just a little bit, and we're just rotating. Just kind of activating the shoulder muscle. Switch directions. All right, chin to chest again. All the way up. And chin to shoulder. Alright, just get a good back stretch. Boom, come back up. Stretch both ways. I get a quick water if you need it. Put the tunes on and we'll get ready to rock and roll.
Am I still connected? I might still be connected, Eric. I'll turn mine off. Alright, you should be able to connect now.
Yeah.
Ready?
I took on a bath and I think that shit like 3 pounds. That shit was interesting. It tired me out. Weird. Yeah, and I think they're close.
All right. So, Caleb, what do you got? I'm gonna need my pressure pass back into that small scroll in there. All right. So, cruise up there. And every time I'm in a match, and I only speak from my perspective, right? What works for me? It might not work for you guys, but at least let's try it. Like, you don't know what your game is a lot of times until you trial and error it. Once you trial and error it, then, you know, we're able to kind of figure it out. So for me, my goal is to always be on top, right? If you're not, like I said, if you're not attacking, you're defending. If you're defending, you're losing. So with that being said, I'm always shooting a takedown. If I'm not shooting a takedown, I'm grabbing the front headlock, I'm ripping them to the mat. Takedowns are all about, at the end of the day, we can talk about, you know, do this technique, change your level, come in. It's commitment, right? Are you going to commit to taking this MF down, or are you not? A lot of people are like, I'm just going to commit. No, that's like half-assed commitment, right? So that's just that. And I do that with every single position. I'm going all in, and my goal is to make them as uncomfortable as possible. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times, when their comfort level exceeds an area of what they're willing to take, guess what? They give you the pass. Once they pass, if you're cooking them to a level that they're not comfortable with, guess what? They open up the net. It's amazing how people will just give you stuff when they become extremely, extremely uncomfortable. So, with that being said, I'm trying to take somebody down, and the one place I do not want to get stuck is full guard. Don't want to get stuck there. Most submissions are going to happen from there. There's so many attacks the bottom person has, and guess what? The top person has 0. Let's avoid that all the time. So whenever I take somebody down, I'm forcing a half guard. I'm forcing it. Because for me, a guy with a really strong wrestling base, you know, fought MMA, this is where I feel really comfortable. They can't catch too many submissions here. They may be able to catch an arm and a Kimura or whatnot. But at the end of the day, this is where I feel most stable. Most people are going to fight this, right? It's just called a simple knee shield. Some people are better. If they have a good knee shield, right, it's hard to get by. If their knee shield is crummy and a lot of times it's there, guess what? Just lay down. You've already passed. Easy breathing, right? Now we're going to operate like people have a good one. So there's many things, you know, you can just bring that arm through, put your fist on the ground, pass, and we're just always driving into it, right? One thing we are going to work on today is just, all it is a crossbody. So they're going to usually be facing like this, because I'm going to be coming into them. It's pretty easy for me just to shoot this reverse underhook, right? So with this reverse underhook, I'm just slightly going to touch this while I'm shooting here and putting my left hip on the ground. Just to right here, right? And so I'm just sitting on my hip. To see it again, I'm pressuring in. She is going to be pressuring against. I'm doing all this stupid stuff. We're doing all this right here. Okay? Now, the one thing is, I fell almost hip to hip with her. Immediately, if they are good, they are going to start pushing me that way to recover. It's going to happen every single time that they know what they're doing. So the minute, you can use your elbow too. The minute I get to here, I am scooting, hold your guard tight too. I am scooting up as high as possible. This is where the cook starts happening. I'm heavy. I'm not trying to kill her right now, so I'm not as heavy. But I'm heavy on this shoulder. I have an underhook with this elbow, and guess what? Now we're even a little more miserable. She can't get out. She can't take me this way because I'm like a reverse Casey Katami at this point. She can't come into me. I have the underhook. If she does, a lot of times if she comes into me, guess what? I just got that pass right there. If they're smart, they're going to frame as hard as they can and do something. That usually just gives me another opportunity to come up even a little bit higher up. Sorry, I'm not trying to make it too uncomfortable. Right, so hold that guard again. So from right here, it's simple. I want to clear my knee line first. A lot of times if my knee line isn't cleared first, just simply right on their knee. I'm not gonna clear the guard, but I'm gonna clear my knee line, and guess what I can do? I can go up even higher. Now, make them a little more uncomfortable. And at this point, like, let's put all of our weight, you know, as long as we're good, let's put all of our weight, like, right on their face, make them look in one way. And right here, I can do one of two things. I can use this leg, open it up, but usually I'm just pulling, pushing down, and pulling, right? I can use that leg, and I'm pulling down and pushing. Just push it down, and then look, from right here, I can do a number of things. But let's just go with the easy one. Take this out. All right? You okay? So let's recap this. Listen, this isn't one of those twirly-whirly, upside-down, inverted, schmurted, jiu-jitsu stuff, right? This is, we are going to smash, sorry, Brooke. We are going to smash them, and we're going to wilt them almost into giving it to us. So we did everything we could to get the fight exactly where we wanted it. And where we wanted it is us on top, not in their full guard. I can't stress that enough. Because somebody with like a full guard like Brooke, she will eat me alive if I get stuck in her full guard. She's just so good there. But if I get stuck here, this is where I live. And this is where a lot of people on top should live, right? So bam, elbow, whatever. But this is the important part. Shooting this, and it's not to here. Like I said, everything's about commitment. I am shooting it through. I fell right on my hip. Now if they're good, they're gonna be pushing me. So I need to know that right away. I fell, and I just come straight up. Look at that, I cleared the knee line as I do it. It's just habit now. So I cleared the knee line. I move this arm up a little bit more. I put my knee in. That's how I like to do it because I'm not very flexible. So I just put my knee in there. And I'm going to reverse case Kitami, right? Once we're here, just make sure I take this knee or this hand right away, block the hip, got the underhook. Now we're just in the full-on side control. All right? Does anybody need to see that again or need a little explanation on it? We good? All right, let's try it on 3. 1, 2. Don't be such a I'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm almost down. I'll be back. Thank you for recording that. Poor Pablo.
Right, because look,
Bye, guys. Have a good night. Sorry about that.
that's why now.
It's gonna keep you from like you gonna hold yourself like this and keep you from like trying to you basically acting like and like it's really good and your knees don't like this keep you from getting any closer. But what he want us to do is like put his knee in.
Well, it will do. I mean, that's if there's
You gonna kind of wrap up. Main thing we don't want to be right here. Right here. What do you say is like full? Yeah, this full guard. It's gonna really act like your knee. You can feel it. You right there. You put your knee down. In the beginning of the leg, I'm trying to wrap up. This is gonna be, we're gonna keep this shit. My thing is to get from right here to get side control. This thing right here.
This guard, are you gonna pull that guard?
This so we don't pay. I guess just go to whatever submission we want.
Bring that butt all the way up, all the way up. Yes, there you go. Now, I like to put my knee right here. Push it, push it. good? Yeah, let's go. Let's see it.
So he got his knee shield though. His knee shield. I'm just trying to get the side control. Nah.
That'll work, but he's never gonna just give that to you. Roll this side. So we have a good, anybody with a good knee shield is gonna be like that, right? So I just can't go like this to them, right? Look, don't let me do that. And you ain't just gonna be able to do that, right? So what I'm doing is I'm shooting this under hook here. Yeah. So look, I see this huge opening right there, right?
So to make it more realistic, he needs to try to like grab or something.
No, I mean from here I'm dictating a lot of stuff. I mean he could be grabbing, he could be like this or whatever. You know what I mean? I want to get the pushing that down.
You just want to get the motion of going to Saturday.
It's boom, boom. Hey guys, let's bring this in really quick. I got some questions that we're kind of a little issue with. Sorry. Okay, so look. Let's start with the premise of everybody doing a knee shield correctly. All right, a lot of people's knee shields are like this. Yeah, it's hard to do that when this partner is shit. Right? So let's operate like the bottom on person knows what he's doing. And what's the purpose of a knee shield? It stops me from coming this way, right? It's a barrier for you. So let's just put a proper knee shield. Let's connect our ankles right there. Boom, it's not letting me come into it. I can't pressure. So now, when this is correct, she's framing, there is a huge gap right here. We see it? Hello, I see it. So look, I'm just shooting it. And I'm dropping to my waist as I'm trying everything I can. I don't need to get this to like that. I just need to get it to right there. Right? So she's pressuring, boom, boom, boom. Look, that's all I needed. She still has that up there. And now I just, look, we're stopping here. The minute I fall here, like immediately, I went boom, boom, straight up. My hip needs to be under her armpit. That's naturally gonna help me clear my knee line, okay? So let's get to there properly. You know, boom. Look, if everybody did everything correctly, more likely than not, her arm is behind me, not underneath me. I have the underhook. Now let's make it all a little bit more uncomfortable. Screwed up. Naturally cleared my knee line. At this point, I can just wither it away. You'll eventually get it out. There's no easy little breezy technique to this. Usually they're just gonna be on top. If they want to be a little more like stubborn, I'm just gonna start smushing their faces. Right? So, listen, shoot that gap. And everything, like I said, is commitment. Commit to it. All right, let's keep trying that. On 3, 1, 2. Okay. Oh, shit, that ain't Rambo.
On your leg, on your leg, going right up.
What was the question? Not the shot?
To make it, you want to kind of give me some resistance, though. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they ain't trying to get it too easy.
Getting into that position. Yeah.
So you can wrap it.
Well, if you do a good show like that, I mean, what I'm doing is I'm just starting to frame heads. Like that. Nobody is listen, if they're already in this position, right, then just almost sit down. You know what I mean? I mean, they're like, the only reason they're going to be like that is if they get that balled up, if they've already shot it. Nobody is ever going to be like, I'm never just going to be like that. Right? The only way I'm going to be like that is if I'm this good. So if I'm doing a good issue shot here, because
Drop this way.
Yeah, hold that guard though. Hold that guard. You hold that guard. Perfect. Look, now scoot up that way.
Scoop up. Yeah, with my
Yeah.
elbow.
And while you do it there, so hold on, stay on the ground. I want your butt to come up. I want to drive that arm into like that. Right, so scoot your even. Yes. Right, now take this. Scoot that up like that. Right? It's not the most comfortable position in the world, is it? So now just take your leg out. Boom. Take this to right here. Right? Put that to his knee. Right? There you go. Now put this around the back of his head. That's called a great side control. Working cross body. You need to do this a lot easier. I think it's one of the best positions.
You do it too.
Especially for MMA. Dude, it's like a
I'm gonna push you. Go up. I'm gonna wrap up so you can put a little bit more resistance to get up. Don't forget to push your back. Yeah, push your butt like where my elbow is at. Oh. Now get back on the side. Get back on the side. Now push back. Now go back. Come back this way. Yeah. Now wrap your hand around my head. Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as you pass, you go.
Okay, is everybody kind of getting that? Are we getting that to a degree? Yes, 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 all right, bring it in. Let me use you. Actually, Timmy, let me use you. No. Okay, so we did everything correct. We got on top. Their knee shield was here. We boom. I got it down. I crossed body. Right? I came all the way up. I got the leg out. Now we got to decide, do we want to be an asshole? Or do we want to just like kind of move on to the next thing?
Asshole.
Okay, let's be an asshole. Look, I want to make sure I take this knee and put it into their hip because it's going to stop them from regaining guard. Right there. Now I'm going to take this arm. I'm not going to lift it up. I'm going to come up and over his head right there. This is just, if you have a tight shoulder like me, it's misery. This is what we call slow cooking. And now we could be just as much of an a-hole as we want. What I like to do is I'm going to shift my chest and put more pressure, right? Now he may have flexible shoulders, I certainly don't, right? So from that position, again, boom, I shot all the way up. I cleared. I'm going to replace this knee with this knee to make sure he does not recover guard. No pressure is taken off of him ever, and I'm coming straight in front of his face, grabbing across face there while controlling the shoulder. Now, for our training partners, we're not going to be jerks and squeeze them, but if you're in a match, this is a great way for them to, I use this move as a, let's settle down, all right? Because you got to know, every position, it's going to be like, you got to wait the storm out. And then we're moving, and then we're moving. This is like, they're wigging, they just settle down. Let's all just settle down a little bit. I'm lifting his head up while I'm pushing down, and it's just a lot of pressure on that shoulder, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Right, so that's how we can be like, kind of a dick, right? I shot it through, boom, I came straight up, I cleared my knee line, boom, I got out, I replaced my two knees. Boom, no pressure came off of them, in front of the face, boom, now I've got it. And a lot of times, I need to solidify the position first, so I'm gonna switch hips really quick before I kind of now go into it. All right, so let's just try that really quick, and then we'll move on to a submission from there. All right, on three, 1, 2. Well, I do that a lot of times. If they're like wigging out for a second, boom, settle, boom. And for a lot of people, like even MMA, they can switch this on.
Yeah, I hate it.
You didn't run it. It's supposed to be kind of. It's not over, is it? It's like under.
Over here,
Yeah.
I'm like this. Right, boom, boom.
We doing a new drill, so you want to get your side control. I want to make sure this one right here don't like go nowhere. Well, you can last part. That's probably because I had my hand. That's why I feel my hand out like this.
When you had it was out like this.
Like dangling
Now,
out.
if they start getting swirly, put that in.
Mine was in.
I'm probably gonna do it.
Are we getting that? Any questions down here? Any questions?
No, sir.
No, hold on. So right here, this is a very so let's get on. There we go. So look, because that hip is stopping. Now I want to take one. Don't keep it on. All the way around. Now let's make them. Now let's cook them. You know what I mean? And if you got tight shoulders, you will tap somebody. Yeah.
And I'm just going for the rewrap. Trying to rewrap it. So I won't go nowhere.
That's probably why you submitted. So that was a good answer.
I really good question.
We use just
Joel's all about that shoulder.
You still want to put it all the way in and get that tap though, so motherfucker. And so you would know too. Yeah. You know what
All right, let's bring it back in. All right, so now we're going to go to a finishing technique. About 3 weeks ago, I taught the no-gi class, and I went with my north-south. I always like going north-south. Even if I don't have a submission there, to me, it's a great control area. If I eventually get to a north-south position, you know, I feel really comfortable here. All my weight's gonna be on one shoulder. I'm blocking the hip so they can't come into me. If I got my head buried, they can't grab my head, right? So this is just a cool, like, okay, where am I going next? And guess what? I still got that same move, even from that north-south, right? It's right there. But let's take it from, let's do a north-south choke from everything we just did. Boom, boom, he's framing, right? I clear and I drop, right? I scoot up, I'm out, right? Now from here, my right arm, I'm just going to block his hip. I'm just gonna move up a little bit, just make it a little more comfortable. And if I got a lot of weight on him, I can take this arm up from off the ground and just shoot it to this other opposite side. From here, I'm just walking back and moving my arm under. And his shoulder, a lot of times, is stuck. So you can't choke him with this arm here. but you can make them as uncomfortable as they want to be until they voluntarily take this out. So I'm gonna walk up, I don't raise my hips just yet. I walk back, I raise it just a little bit, and now the choke is tight as can be. I grab the wrist to their hip, pelvis down, bury my head, and it's not a squeeze. I'm flexing my bicep while dropping this shoulder. I personally like to hold the wrist to the hip, but if you don't like, just make sure they settle down and just gable grip, bury your head, and flex your bicep. Flex, don't squeeze their head. Flex your bicep and drop the shoulder. Hey, but this is the thing about a north-south choke. It's not I did not just snatch a guillotine. Everything's a pressure cooker on a north-south. We cooked them in the side control. Then we cooked them into north-south, and then we have to cook them in that choke too, right? I've never seen a north-south go on ever. And they just grab a north-south and they go like this. Right? It's one of those like chokes. So, we pass the guard. I'm here. Even if I get here a lot of times, they may try and turn into me as hard as they can. I just move my arm to that side at that point. I just keep coming up, let them pull that arm through, and it sinks the choke by itself. Now look, I don't sit here. This is the main important part I need to tell you. When they say north-south, this isn't north-south. That's north-south. I'm in a straight line with him. My pelvis is on the ground, my legs are spread. I'm not like this. I don't have my hips off the ground, pelvis on the ground. Grab the rib to the hip. Then I can gable grip, bury my head. And if I don't have it, just sink back more this way. And then I like to count to 10. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. 4, 1,000. 5, 1,000. Took 5 seconds. It's never going to be like that. All right? It's going to be a little tricky. You have to find that area. I'm not squeezing the head. I'm flexing the bicep while I'm dropping the shoulder at the same time. Okay? So let's move from that side control to the north-south position, and let's sink the choke in. All right? On 3. 1, 2.
In the vein. You can't put them in the back. You were on top of them.
No.
So if you're in the vein, and I'm here, right?
Yeah, but even in MMA, you're going to be way higher. This happens in all of MMA, on your back. And even higher. That goes all the time. Even put it in the guard. That happens all the time. And you'll see this position so long. And a lot of times it's just like, I need to take a breather. You know? You're not going south. Remember what I said about yourself? That's yourself.
Oh, sorry. I was talking my ribs. I was thinking in the vein, but in the back of the head. They're there. But they're from both in the ribs.
Did you feel good? You know what? Your arm would
So it's basically the same thing. Well, we aim putting the hands on and then going all the way
Sorry,
over
you know
here.
your ribs and that's not right. What are you doing? Try it.
And then we get back here, get the hand a bit, hand back here. And then, like it's damn near, once you get right here, it's damn near already in. So like once you get the hand back here, you know, like put your head down, put your shoulders into it and flex your muscle. Kind of good. Got it. I'll let you know again doing it.
And a lot of times he's going to give up because you don't think you have it. But north-south, it's so hard to lose the position. So don't ever give up. That's why I count to 10, because it's crazy. If I don't have it, right? I don't have it. I'm like, it's very good. Let it for a second. Usually not uncomfortable. Boom. Now I'm in. Because at first they're probably trying not to
Put
get
your
it.
hip
And then more of them can knock it like this.
my hip. Put my hip. Kind of hold my hip right here. Yeah. Then you gonna swing around. Kind of walk around. Kind of.
Scoot your butt up. Scoot your butt up.
Then
Come
like,
on. Up. More.
Yeah. Push my, move my arm right here. Loosen it. Come back. Push, come back. Yeah. A little bit more. Now you want to push your head down.
Here, hold on.
Push your muscle.
Grab this. Hold it there, right? Now, you can bring that arm for more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sink back this way. There we go. There we go.
I felt it when you was I felt it at first, but like when he
Don't keep going.
came,
Okay, good. Hold on.
came
Hold this.
tightened up.
Because he's going to be trying to follow you. Right? So from here, that's how I want it.
Yeah,
Okay?
it make it get in a little bit more. But she
You can put
said,
this on a lot more.
but she didn't like.
Put your head down like that.
At first
Now
it
I'm
was
gonna
like
take all
almost
this
like he was like right
sink.
here. Yeah. But then when you went back, it was like on my body.
Right there.
Yeah.
Squeeze your bicep
Everything
and
was
rub
on.
the shoulder.
That one like everything was on this side.
Well, unless they're buried. And then they can I just let up one second. And then they go like this, and you find it out. That's not what I, that's not what And I would It's such a, like, if you're slow and methodical about it too, you have so many options. You can take mouse, go north, south. All right, guys, let's bring it in. If everybody seem like they're getting it to a degree, 1 degree or another. Okay, cool. Hey, last little thing, and then we're gonna go live. I just want to show you the simple defense of it. Hopefully, a lot of people start going, hey, I want to hear move of the day a lot today when we roll. But let's just say, I want you guys to know the defense. And the one thing I said is you have to bury your head. If you bury your head, there's literally almost no defense. It's either they got it or they don't, and they have a good chin and whatever. But if I'm up here, they just need to take their left arm and put it across the side of my face. I cannot choke from here, right? Here, well, just don't even do that right now. I just want to show them that they can't get choked from here. All I'm going to be doing is squeezing their jaw from here. So, that's why I say it's very important that you need to bury your head. Boom. If I'm up here, I saw a lot of people like this. All they got to do is put their arm through and just get me to right there. That's all they got to do. A lot of times some people won't get out, but you'll never choke them, and we're going to wait out 5 minutes here. Which sometimes might not be the worst thing in the world. You got somebody like him, he's going to dig underneath and just start doing all these D-bad things. But you're not going to be able to get choked. Or you're never going to get that choke unless you bury that head. Because all they got to do is put your arm up in front of your face and not allow you to bury your head. So everybody's like, I don't understand why I can't finish this choke. Yeah, it's because you're finishing the choke from here. I'm finishing the choke. Look how sunken down on you. I'm finishing it from here. Boom. All right, so quick drink of water. We're going to start, we worked half guard today, so we're going to start. We're going for 10 minutes. We're going to go half guard. If you win, you stay. If you lose, we just keep on going. You guys know what I'm talking
okay.
about? All right, pass the sweep. There we go, yeah. So grab a quick water. We're going to start in about 1 or 2 minutes.
Are we starting?